minutes from the Tri-State to the Edens. Westbound, it's 4 minutes. On the Edens main line, it's a 15-minute cruise either way between Lake Hook and Montrose. Inbound Kennedy, delays start at Canfield. Drive time, O'Hare to downtown, is 27 minutes. 15 from Montrose, 11 on the Express. Outbound 23 minutes downtown to O'Hare. Inbound Eisenhower is tight 1st Avenue to Ridgeland and Ashland to the Burns Circle. 33 minutes, 390 to downtown. Outbound 30. Stevenson, 31 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive. The Ryan is 20 minutes from 95th to downtown. On this Friday, that's traffic. I'm Jim Talamonte.
Jim, thank you. Chicago's Morning Answer continues next in our AM 560 Weather Center. Brian May.
Breezy today, sunshine mixing with clouds, turning warmer this afternoon, high 81. Clear and mild tonight, low 64. Tomorrow and Sunday, partly sunny and warm, high tomorrow and Sunday, 76. I'm Brian May on AM 560, The Answer.
It's 54 at O'Hare. Next news, 8:30. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
Listen to AM 560, The Answer, online at 560theanswer.com, on the AM 560 mobile app, and your Alexa-powered smart speaker, on TuneIn, iHeart, and radio.com. This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
Top of the morning, Dan and Amy. And Amy, I chastised you earlier for reading Susana Mendoza's tweets.
Yeah, that was rude.
Because who cares what spills out of the empty head of a political hack like Susana Mendoza? That was my view.
Fine. She used an unkind word to describe why the fly was sitting on Mike Pence's hair during the debate.
Right.
Yes, we got it.
And, of course, it was, something that was right on the nose that constitutes cleverness for Susana Mendoza and most everybody else in public office in Illinois, because these are people that, basically are operating with familial connections and room temperature IQs. But now I've been chastised. I got chastised for chastising you, as I always do. Thankfully, I'm incorrigible, so I don't care, but I'll point it out anyway. This friend of the show, I like the fact that Amy points out what trash these people are, and especially Mendoza.
Can you repeat that?
I like the fact that Amy points out what trash these people are, and especially Mendoza. Her brother is CPD, Chicago Police. And a lot of cops are going to vote for her for mayor because of it. Voters are dumb, and it's stupid comments like hers, Mendoza's, which turn people off to her. She's not going away anytime soon, so show her for what she is. And I responded to that saying, well, that's interesting. She's not going away anytime soon. Doesn't that tell you everything you need to know to make my point?
Yeah.
She's just another fixture here because...
Mayor in the waiting.
Because voters here are intelligence resistant. And as I said to this respondent, I can barely muster interest in the mayor, much less a marginal stooge like Mendoza. The indignation that we offer for someone like Mendoza, it doesn't go anywhere. It's masturbatory. It really is. So that's the running view. Now, I can muster interest in a few races in Illinois. The congressional races, which have such impact at the federal level as well as the state level, that we've been profiling. Frizzalone in the 3rd, Ives in the 6th, Oberweis in the 14th. And I can also muster interest in the re-election of Dan Patlack, Cook County Board of Review Commissioner. And that's in spite of the radio ad that he has running on our airwaves right now.
Why?
Have you heard this?
You guys got to hear it. Okay.
The following is a paid political announcement.
Order! Order! Let's have some order here. The meeting of the Cook County Democrat Party is called to order. Call to roll. Board President?
Present.
Clerk?
Present.
State's Attorney?
Over here.
Sheriff?
Right here.
Treasurer?
Here.
Assessor?
Present.
Board of Tax Review? Board of Tax Review. Haven't we Democrats taken over the Board of Review yet?
Not yet. This is your Commissioner Dan Patlack. For For too long, Cook County government has been dominated by one political party.
You get the point. And first, look, it's impressive he got Dennis Franz to do the voiceover for the spot, which is very good, the roll call. I'm just glad that Patlack is going to stay at Board of Review and not try and make it in radio.
Exactly.
Not yet.
It's a very sexy position that he holds, let me tell you.
Dan Patlack, Cook County Board of Review Commissioner, joins us. Dan, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Hi, Dan. Hi, Amy. You're making me laugh with a Dennis Franz quote.
And also, don't quit your day job.
I won't. Yeah, we had a lot of fun making that commercial, but it does make a point. Cook County government and most government within Cook County is absolutely dominated by Democrats, and you got to ask the voters, how's that working out for you?
Absolutely, and this is particularly a salient seat in this time because all indications are the federal investigation into corruption in Illinois generally focuses on public official A, Mike Madigan, and right below him is former Cook County Assessor Joe Barrios, and the people that can in part remedy the, under the law, remedy what the assessor's office does are people like you on the Board of Review.
Right. Well, I've been there. It's been a while now. It's been 10 years, and I came in with a lot of, I thought, really good ideas to improve the system. And I will say I do have two Democrat colleagues, but we've worked together and we've been able to implement a lot of things to make the appeal process a lot more accessible to regular taxpayers, and it's a good thing and it's a bad thing. We've had record numbers of appeals for the last 5 years. Obviously, we wish that their people didn't feel there was the need for that, but they do, and I think a lot of that is just driven by the fact that even if you're paying the right amount of property taxes, they're still incredibly high.
No question, and this is a reminder too that the Board of Review does not set property taxes. It's an appeals body to appeal the high property taxes. So don't go blaming Dan Patlack for your high property taxes.
Thanks, Dan, for saying that. A lot of people don't realize that, and it's true. We adjudicate appeals on assessments. The assessments help determine what the final property taxes will be, but ultimately property taxes are determined by taxing districts, starting with our schools, our elementary schools and our high schools. And if anybody were to take the time to notice, you'll see that our schools ask for more money virtually every single year.
Well, how much of our property taxes go to the schools? I know it's different from the suburbs and the city, but can you break it down?
Right. It'll vary, but I would say a minimum of 60%, probably a maximum of 75%. And in many suburban school districts, you've got the cost per student well above $20,000, sometimes $25,000 or even $30,000 in places like New Trier. And you really got to ask yourself, should it cost that much to educate one student?
With respect to being a elected official Republican in Cook County, you're the highest ranking Republican elected official in Cook County. It seems like something that's a relatively low profile board office, this Cook County Board of Review Commissioner, would just be like a DR litmus test, right? Whoever's got the D next to their name, if I'm a D, I'm voting for that person. Whoever got the R, if I'm an R, I'm voting for that person. But for you, over the course of the last decade, you seem to have been able to build your own brand where your name is the brand, not your party affiliation, and you've gotten a lot of Democrat support. Otherwise, you wouldn't be in that office.
Yeah, you're right, Dan. And the good thing about my office is it's not a partisan office. There's no Democrat or Republican way to adjudicate an appeal. So what I've tried very hard to do is treat everyone fairly, and at the same time make the process easier for all property owners. And I'll tell you what, Democrats are just as concerned about high property taxes as Republicans because they're paying them too, and they need some outlet, and the Board of Review has been that place for people regardless of their political persuasion.
And you're so easily accessible. I mean, you help people, you have seminars, and I'm sure you've been doing Zoom calls during COVID-19. And remember, you used to have your Taxpayer Action Day rallies.
Oh, well, that you've got a good memory. Amy. That was back in the early 90s. I had started a local taxpayer group that was affiliated with Citizens Against Government Waste, and we did some rallies protesting wasteful government spending. Not quite sure how much good they did, but we put our best foot forward and tried to make a positive change. But yeah, right now we've got a state that is bankrupt, that spends too much, and that doesn't facilitate the economic environment for businesses. So we've got people leaving left and right, and I think we really got to turn that around. Otherwise, we're heading for a really bad place.
Yeah, give us a handle on the race too. I mean, I think thankfully you've got, as I mentioned, two competitive congressional races that will bring people out. In addition to people want to come out and vote for Trump or vote for Biden, they're motivated, even though this state doesn't seem to be in play at the presidential level. So you've got that dynamic going on that will help with turnout, particularly turnout of your voters or people who would be inclined to be your voters. But the state of play in the race, how this has been close before, your previous victories, and where do you think it stands right now?
Right. 4 years ago, I won with 52% of the vote. And that was my largest margin of victory, and I know I did it with a lot of Republican votes, but I also had a healthy number of Democrat and independent votes, and that's what I've got to depend on again this year. It is, I'm sure you know, Dan, an extremely challenging environment for any Republican running in Cook County, and even the collar counties. And one thing I want to say to your listeners out there, because I know most of them are Republicans, is it is incredibly important for you to vote down to the bottom of the ballot. I'm number 68 on the ballot, but there are other good candidates. Tom Morrison is running for state rep in the Palatine area. Brad Stevens is running for state rep in the Rosemont 41st Ward area. And then in DuPage, you've got great candidates like Peter Breen and then Bob Grogan's running for auditor. They're down the ballot, and if you vote only for president and Senate and state's attorney and Congress, and you stop there, that's going to cause our lower-level candidates to not enjoy the benefit of all the Republican support that they deserve. So go all the way down to the bottom of the ballot, and don't forget to vote no on the tax increase referendum.
And that's conveniently located at the top of the ballot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
How did that happen? I don't know. I'm left scratching my head.
It happened purposefully, of course, yes. So just in terms of the Cook County Board of Review, I mean, again, you have a Democrat opponent, so frame the choice, you versus your opponent, whose name I won't mention because I don't want to give him any help.
Sure. Well, you've got a choice between a person with a sterling record of helping taxpayers, someone who is an expert in the assessment field, who is a certified Illinois assessing officer, has served as a local township assessor, has been a realtor for 34 years, versus another person who has virtually no experience. I'm running against a woman. She's seen her two biggest attributes as she has presented herself is that she's a woman, and because she's a woman, she should get elected. And also that she's an attorney. She claims that being an attorney makes her solely qualified, and because I am not an attorney, I'm not qualified. But that kind of logic really doesn't work, and it actually shows that she knows very little about the office, because the work we do at the Board of Review is about 99% financial analysis, very little application of the law. We know the law. And Dan, I know you have a law degree. You're not a licensed attorney.
No.
But I've said publicly, it's not for a person of average intelligence, and I'm talking to just about everybody that's out there. You can read the law, you can read a statute, you can read a decision by a judge, and you know what to do. It doesn't take an attorney.
I don't know, Dan. I mean, don't you think it's about time we gave attorneys a chance to be in public office? It's their turn. Finally, an attorney in public office.
Now, Dan, did you debate your competitor?
Well, we did a interview on with the Daily Herald, and actually, the Daily Herald has that up on their website. And I would encourage everyone to watch it, and you can really see the difference between my opponent and I, just in the way we present ourselves and in how we talk about what the Board of Review does and what it should be doing.
And you got the endorsement from pretty much every newspaper.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was very gratified. The endorsements from the Tribune and the Daily Herald were glowing, and I even got the endorsement of the Democrat paper in Chicago, the Sun-Times. They didn't endorse very many Republicans, but they said I was the better candidate, and so I'm very happy to have received their endorsement. Also got the endorsement of the local firefighters. Happy to get that. The Hellenic American Voters Alliance, the Italian American Voters, the Polish Daily News. I'm also endorsed by a lot of the local township assessors, and they're the ones that I work closely with to help their constituents make sure that they can get their appeals in and do the very best job they can presenting their case.
That's pretty good coalition building.
What about the Swedish group? Did they?
Yeah, the Swedes. We want to know about the Swedes.
Amy, if you got an in there,
I've got four votes for you that I've secured.
There you go. Well, that should be the lead part of the Swedes for Patlack coalition. For more information on your campaign, they can go where, Dan?
electpatlack.com, and I want everyone to know I'm continuing to look for yard sign locations. So when you go to that website, electpatlack.com, you can click right away. It's on the homepage. I want a yard sign for Patlack, and we'll get someone out there to put it up. Also, anyone who's interested in learning more about property taxes and property tax appeals, I put together a website. It's my own site. It's named after me. It's danpatlack.com, and it will give you a lot of information about how to file an appeal at the Board of Review and just the property tax system in general.
Now, do you offer the Luis Gutierrez benefit plan for anybody who supports the campaign, that where your property is taken off the rolls for a time period for property tax relief?
Louis got a great deal there, and that was very beneficial for him, but it was bad for all other taxpayers because we all had to make up the difference.
Yeah.
So, no plan like that offered through the Patlack website.
How the heck did that happen?
danpatlack.com is the website on all things Cook County tax related. Elect Patlack, P-A-T-L-A-K, is the campaign website for yard sign locations and so forth. On a serious note, I mean, Dan Patlack is about, he is who Diogenes is looking for in Cook County, the last honest man in Cook County, at least in office, generally speaking. This is somebody who you should make a point to go out and vote for if you live in his portion of Cook County that he represents on the Board of Review. Dan, thanks so much for joining us. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me on, Dan and Amy. Appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Bye-bye.
Yep. Thanks for all you do. And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
Listen to Dan and Amy on your smartphone. Download the AM 560 mobile app today at 560theanswer.com/mobile.
Balance of Nature's fruits and vegetables in a capsule. Changing the world, one life at a time.
I'm Dr. Paul Gooch. I'm an optometric physician at Southwest Vision in St. George, Utah. We have a practice where we do a lot of primary eye care, medical eye care. We know nutrition affects the health of the eyes. There are several diseases where nutrition plays a role that we've identified. So I do recommend Balance